Okay, everyone, I'm going to do the lowering link today. I'm also going to lower the front forks. I bought the adjustable lowering link here, so I can take that clear up to 2 inches of lowering. I'm short, like we discussed in previous videos, so to me, I think I need the 2 inches. If I get familiar or I get some sag out of the spring, I can bring this back up to maybe 1 inch. So, but I'm going to level the bike up. I got the level sitting here on the seat strap so I can do it afterwards at the same position. And I got my trusty Fat Max here, and we're going to see just how high the seat height is now. That's telling me I'm about 38 inches right there. So they tell you that this is 37 factory. So maybe it's 37 here, but that's a lot higher than what I anticipated it to be. Okay, so I'm gonna start by lowering the front forks. I need to take the headlight bezel off so I can access these 4 bolts a little easier. I loosened it back up because I did the install on the headlight install, so it should be pretty simple. I just got them hand tight. This is a 10 millimeter. Put those in your pocket. And then this just tips forward and pulls up. There's 2 little plastic pins down here. I'm gonna set this off to the side. I did put a towel over the tank and stuff so I don't damage anything. And these bolts here that you gotta loosen to move your front forks up are 12 millimeter. You also need a Phillips head screwdriver to loosen up these and slide those down out of your way. I just kind of snug them back up a little wee bit just to hold it there. Same on the other side. Maybe loosen a little more. There we go. And then once you lower it, you'll move those back up. Okay, 12 millimeter, loosen up these bolts. And then you want to get like a hard scale or something so you can measure both sides equally when you do this. Because you want that to be the same. And these are pretty tight. So keep that in mind when you're putting it back together, that they need to be pretty tight. Now this one here poses a problem. It's very, very hard to get this top bolt out. And I was looking at this earlier, so I kind of found out you can kind of move this down and get your ratchet in there. Okay, everything's loose. All right, so this is that flat that I can get to. That's that 3/4 of an inch I was talking about. I should be able to just push up on the bottom of the fork and then tighten one of these bolts up to kind of hold it in place. Okay, right there looks pretty good. Now, that should be enough to hold it and do the other side. This side is not loose enough. Ooh, that's a little much. Okay. Just snug it up so it stays there, and then we'll measure. Try to measure the same point, both sides. Let's see, 3/4. So this side has to come back up just a little wee bit, it looks like. It's kind of hard to get in there and measure that really nicely. Yeah, this side's 3/4. And this side is a 32nd over that. So I'm actually just going to drop this side back down a little wee bit. And then I'll tighten everything up, because that's what they said I can get, is 3/4. Oh, they got a big one out of that. There we go. Snug it up. And that is 3/4. And that one is 3/4. So I'm going to tighten all these bolts back up now. Okay, just make sure my bars don't hit. If they don't, nothing hits my tank. Nice. Yep, nothing hits, so we're good. And then I'll move up my little shock thingies here. And then we'll reinstall the headlight bezel. This is the 10 millimeter if I didn't already tell you that. Okay, tighten up this side, and we're moving on to the real fun. Okay, for this process, you're going to need a 17 millimeter for these two nuts and a 14 millimeter backer wrench. And apparently I'm going to have to remove this chain guard, I think. So I have to remove this chain guard here. It's just a Phillips head screw. And then I can get that bolt out of there. And the swing arm drops down. There you go. Now it's time to get this one out. Okay, so with moving this rubber chain guard out of the way, you can get the chain pushed up enough to get the bolt out. And there it is. Some guys said that you had to remove the chain. Apparently, if you're a little bit creative, you don't have to. Okay, now it's time to repeat the process. Okay, there's that. Put that. Start that nut so it doesn't fall back out, which doesn't look like it's going to. And then, if you had a buddy, this would probably be an easier process. Okay, I'll show you the process that I use to get this line back up, because you have to compress the shock in order to do this. So we'll get this bolt in, we'll get everything tightened up, and then I'll show you the process. this all put back together right after I drop everything. Get that started. This thing rides on a little slot up there. You got to make sure that that's on there good. Get that tightened up. Good to go. Tighten up these nuts, and I'll show you the process. There's that 14 millimeter. There we go. There you go, plenty tight enough. Okay, since I didn't have a buddy to help, I ran a ratchet strap up around this mount here, which is a good hard mount, and I hooked it over here under the exhaust. Ran it up underneath the wheel, and that's how I jacked it up. So, if you don't have a buddy to help, that's what I did. Alright, so after some fine-tuning adjustments and getting it right where I wanted it, it felt kind of tippy where I had it in the first place. So I adjusted that linkage a little wee bit, took some measurements, got it where I wanted it. So now we'll show you where it's sitting. And I'm at 36.5 right now. And I jumped on it, and I sat on it, and I wiggled it around. And I kind of like where it's at now. I'll sit on it and show you. I mean, that's pretty good. I could barely tiptoe with 1 foot before. Now I can tiptoe both feet. I can completely plant one. It's a lot more comfortable for me. So that worked out great. Ended up lowering this thing 2.5 inches. So, and I may take it back up once I get familiar with it. Get more ride time on it. Everything settles. I might have to jack it back up a little bit, but that's fine. For right now, this is going to be perfect. So, thank you for watching. And stay tuned. I still have the rear rack to do.